When we grow plants in containers, it's very different than when we grow plants in the ground in beds. The potting mix, or the potting soil that we use for containers, is very specially designed. It's got to be loose and free draining. It's a very good thing to remember that when you're potting plants up in containers, you never want to use anything that's labeled topsoil or garden soil. You certainly don't want to go out and dig soil out of your garden, no matter how wonderful that soil is, and put it in a container. It's simply not suitable. It's not going to be structurally appropriate, and it won't drain properly. Now, buying potting mixes, you want to make sure that it says right on the label that it's potting soil or a potting mix. Make sure the word potting is in there. Sometimes you'll find nurseries, your local nursery may blend their own potting mixes. There are lots of national companies that blend potting mixes. These are almost always pretty good. Make sure when you pick it up the bag feels relatively light. You don't want to get a really heavy, dense potting mix. Now, what the manufacturers use to blend these mixes together are three primary components. First, this Canadian sphagnum peat moss is utilized, and that's blended with vermiculite. This is an expanded mineral material, and also perlite, another expanded mineral material that's subjected to high heat. Now, these three components together, along with lime and dolomite, are usually blended together. The lime and the dolomite will sort of balance the pH and add some nutrients, and that's the primary ingredients of our potting mixes. Now, if you're going to be doing something special, potting up particular kinds of plants, you might want to get a special mix. Orchids, for instance, grow in their own special bark mixes. So if you're potting up orchids, make sure you use orchid mixes. If you're starting seeds or rooting cuttings, you see a finer mix here for that. And finally, if you're growing cactuses or succulents, these plants need a really well-drained potting mix, and these are designed to provide that good drainage. So make sure you choose the right potting mix for the indoor plants or outdoor plants you're growing in containers. For Get It Growing, I'm Dan Gill with the LSU Ag Center.